Yo, Morena, it's Nate. Can't remember what day it is of this challenge, but it's Monday morning, 8:30, and I've just dropped my car off to get a service, and they actually offered to drop me off, but I said no, just drop me part of the way home, and then I'll walk the rest. I was anticipating to be dropped off at a different spot, but we came a different direction and ended up a lot closer, which is fortunate because it's starting to spit a little bit because it's going to be raining all day basically. But I have a tiny window to get home. I'm just approaching the corner of what I would normally do as my big neighborhood walk, so it'll probably take me 10-15 minutes to get home, so unless it starts pouring down I should be okay. But yeah, I haven't actually had any breakfast. I normally have breakfast at 9 o'clock anyway, so by the time I get home, perfect timing, I'll have my overnight oats that I'll show you what we made as part of the meal prep, and then yeah, basically just do some work, do some study, wait for the car, get an Uber to pick it up, and then carry on with the day. Drop my fiance off for morning placement, so I'll need to pick her up around 2:30 or 3ish. Just waiting to cross the road. Anyway, that's a little quick update from me. I'll see you in a bit. Sweet. Yo, me again. I decided to do another short recording since the weather is still nice, which is very, very good. You might recognize the area. I'm walking in reverse. I'll be home in like 3-4 minutes. But yeah, what did I want to say? Oh, I started reading this book. When I get home, I'll do another recording after breakfast or something and show you. But I started reading this book that I've had for ages. Not The Compound Effect, another one. It's called The Daily Stoic, and it's apparently a compilation of Marcus Aurelius journaling, I think, because he used to journal every day, and they found some of his notes, and I guess they've distilled them down into daily quotes or daily focuses. And today's focus is quite auspicious because it resonates with what I also read today and the compound effect, and I'll talk more about that when I get home, just so I can actually show you and read the sentences. It's kind of weird how things line up sometimes. But yeah, today is kind of looking to be a really good day. I got some semi good news on a completely different front, so I'm just waiting to hear back from them. It's not relating to a job, it's relating to this trip that I've got coming up. Maybe I'll talk more about that in a future video. But yeah, I'm just arriving home, so I'll sign off for now, and probably next time will be after breakfast, and then I'll show you the book. Sweet. See ya. Yo, I can't remember what time it is, but I've got home not too long ago, and that's the overnight oats that I was talking about. It's a lot bigger than the last one that we made. I'll tell you about the ingredients after, but I just want to quickly read you this entry from the book that I was talking about. So the book is The Daily Stoic, and I'm pretty sure it's based on stuff from it's actually a combination of people. So Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius, aka Caesar. So today is, sorry, I'm just trying to juggle two things. Today is July the 22nd, and in the book, today's thought, whatever you want to call it, or tairu, is no one has a gun to your head. And the quote is, nothing is noble if it's done unwillingly or under compulsion. Every noble deed is voluntary. Seneca, Moral Letters 66.16b. And then it says, you don't have to do the right thing. You always have the option to be selfish, rude, awful, short-sighted, pedantic, evil, or stupid. In fact, sometimes there are incentives to break bad. Certainly not every criminal gets caught. But how does this line of thinking usually work out for people? That's that life like. What's that life like? You don't have to do the right thing, just as you don't have to do your duty. You get to, or you want to. And the reason that seemed to be significant to me, because at the same time, this morning, I was also reading this other book that I've talked about, The Compound Effect. And in particular, on page 31, so I'm holding the book with one hand and phone with the other. I know, trouble. But in the book, I've got the page wrong. It's not 31. It's page 85. There's a subtitle where he's talking about thinking addition, not subtraction. And he uses an example where he interviewed Montel Williams for the Success magazine that he publishes. And this person was afflicted by multiple sclerosis, and Montel adopted something called the add-in principle, which was basically very similar to this kind of concept that is in the other book about, you get to do things, not that you have to do them. But the example he uses is, it's not so much what you attempt to take out of your diet, but it's what you decide to put in instead. So, for example, instead of thinking I can't eat a hamburger, chocolate or dairy, he thinks about what he can have instead. He thinks about what he can add into his day. So, for example, he says, today I'm going to have a salad and steamed vegetables and fresh figs. So he fills his focus and belly with what he can have, so he can no longer think about what he can't have. So instead of focusing on what he has to sacrifice or deduct or remove, it's about what he gets to add in to his daily routine or diet. And I think this is really relevant because, it's kind of that whole concept of positive over negative. Like, instead of thinking about the negative things, like I can't do this, I can't do that, you focus and shift the energy to the positive. I get to do this. There's another example that he talks about where a person wants to rid themselves of a bad habit of like spending 3 hours watching TV, which is not productive and, doesn't do much for your life. And when they asked this person, if you had 3 hours free time, what would you want to do with it? And he said, well, I want to spend more time with my kids. And if there's a hobby that you wanted to pursue, what would it be? And he said photography. So he talks about, eventually the two things can combine, and he can take photos of his kids, and then he can, in the evening, he can spend time editing those photos, creating a photo album in PowerPoint, for example. So he gets to kind of kill two birds with one stone, if that makes sense. He gets to spend time with his kids, he gets to further a hobby, editing photos, creating a photo album, instead of spending 3 hours just mindlessly watching TV. That's not okay. It might be entertaining, but it's maybe not the best use of your time. And you can apply this to your own life, like other habits, certainly habits that I need to reduce or eliminate, or think about the positive things. Like I want to add new positive things into my life. So that's why I said earlier that it's an auspicious day, because these two things from two completely different books seem to just perfectly line up. Like today's July the 22nd. I didn't choose that quote. That was the quote that was relevant to this particular day. So, and again, it comes back to the compound effect. There's something about the law of attraction, and that when you focus on something, you see that thing. Like the example he gives is when you're buying a car, you suddenly see that car everywhere. The reality is that car was always there, you just didn't pay attention to it. So in the same sense, these connections, these linkages, these relationships are probably always there. These auspicious, discoveries are always present, but we're not conscious or aware of them. So I think that's relevant. If you're stumbling across this video, these videos have always been here, but because you've been focusing on this particular topic, the universe has a way of presenting that stuff in front of you when you need it. So anyway, that's enough for me. I need to have my breakfast, and I'll touch base with you later. Sweet. Yo, quick one for me, just because the battery's a bit low and I'm starving. Just picked the car up. It's a little bit after 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Been a really long day. I am starving, so I'm gonna head in, and maybe I'll give you an update a little bit later what happened today. Sweet. Yo, just a quick one from me before I go to sleep. It's like 10 o'clock. It's been a busy night. We did laundry. I had a massive dinner. It was a good solid dinner. My fiance made me some egg whites as part of my burger patties. I'll show you the photo. It was really filling. I think it was like 100 grams of burger patties. So I made 500 grams. And there's like 12 small patties. She gave me a lot of lettuce. Normally I just have like a tiny strip. But she gave me a lot of lettuce, and she used 2 cheese slices. It was so good, man. So good. I was still pretty hungry after though. But then the rest of the night I've just had like a gurgling sound, like I'm hungry or digesting. I don't really know. Anyway, it's been a pretty full on night. Sort of at 5,000 steps, and yeah, I'll see if I can pull up the calories for the day, but I think pretty sure I'm under. But yeah, busy day tomorrow. Couple things happened earlier tonight, but I'll talk about it tomorrow. I'm off to bed. Alright, thanks for watching, and see you tomorrow. Cheers.